Om salutations to all great sadhakas, bhaktas, jignasus, mumukshus, gurus, shishyas. In spirituality, it is inevitable, though we forget it and it is necessary, though it is difficult. It is as frequently as possible pausing and looking within what we are doing and what it is happening. Are we involving in this Shastra Shravanam Adhenam seriously, sincerely, or not? As a result of it, what is said in the Shastra, are we able to grasp it or not? And how much the thing grasped is remembered by us, and that remembered the knowledge, how much we are feeling for it, that what is indicated there as the goal is my goal, what is indicated there as the sadhana is my sadhana. How much of the feeling of identity with them is in us? We have to pause and see. Then the relation. Are we doing that sadhana? If we are doing, while doing so, are we aware of that goal? Or mechanically doing sadhana, I have forgotten the goal, taking the means alone as goal. What is exactly happening in us? Which is so very essential to ensure that truly we are evolving. If this is not done, then our listening becomes mechanical, and one day suddenly, when we pause and look within, we find ourselves nowhere at all near to the truth or the self or reality or theme of the Shastra, even though we have spent precious, valuable hours to listen to it. See, the grace of God, the grace of Guru, that anywhere will come. Even to realize that grace coming, to make use of it, we have to be conscious, we have to be aware about ourselves. Now, as regards sadhana preparation is concerned, the self is being beyond all gross, subtle, and the causal also. How much of the causal we have nullified or neutralized? How much we have reason about the stula? How much we have learned to live at the sukshma level, that to learn to live only what is learned from Shastra. Many a time we observe, we just see that everything is vague in ourselves, nothing so clear at all. And in that inadvertent ignorance, we don't even know that we are living life absolutely contradictory, opposite to what spiritual goal is or the sadhanas that are indicated. That is, still the mamata with the world, still the ahanta with the deha. You know, we have not even initiated or tried to work out on these things, sort out on these things. Only when we start working out on it, that slowly, slowly we will be able to achieve each of these targets. Mm. So, looking into that way, finding ourselves where we are. If we have achieved to great heights, no need to be any arrogance. Arrogant. If you have not achieved, why need not be regretting guilty also? Then what? We have to start again. We have to restart again. Every time our life is reset, restart only. Reset, restart, reset, restart. That is how it goes on happening. Most importantly, the alertness, the awareness of all these things. How much of the Shastra Jnana entered into me? How much of the goal and means indicated by Shastra is owned by me? And as a part of the means or sadhana, how much of the outer sadhana of setting my vyavahara I have done in such a manner that my outer vyavahara is not a obstruction to my own sadhana. So too, how is my vyavahara with my own self, my own upadhis? I am still slave to them? Am I still attached to them? Am I still only propitiating them? Am I neglecting them? Am I making them, non-conducive for my sadhana? Every of these things have to be questioned and answered. In spirituality क्या है कि all the upadhis are required to be used and they have their own special demands all the time. Then we too have the vasanas and habits gathered to cater to these upadhis other than sadhana. एंड भाई ये सब साधना के खिलाफ है सब चलो सारा छोड़ देंगे उपाधिस भी वो नहीं होता है फिर these are the only upadhis we have. Other than this, there is no other. Therefore, that very delicate art it is. We need the upadhis, therefore we take care of them. We really, the master them or what do you call it? We fully mindful about it. None of the upadhis can be neglected, like sharira. If we neglect the sharira, then it will have weaknesses. It will have the energylessness. It will have diseases. Now, with that, how can you do sadhana? Some people, vechare, because of the thought of detaching from the deha, they torture the deha. Then the deha will not cooperate for sadhana. Bhagavan says in Gita, 16th chapter, Karshayantah sharirastham bhutagramam achetasaha mam chaiva antah sharirastham tan vidhi asura nishchayan. As much we are an asura when we trouble others, so much we are asura when we trouble, torture our upadhis also. See, neither we can torture them, nor we can pamper them, nor we become slaves to them. And we cannot be without them, and we cannot be without using them. See the tragedy. Is it not? So to the indriyas. No, without indriya, without eyes, how can you look at the book? Ears, how can you listen to the Guru? Mouth, how can we chant the mantras? ये तो जरूरी है. Therefore, they are to be minded. Same time, ears want to listen all music, all praise of ours. The eyes want to get enchanted in seeing forms. The mouth or the tongue wants various things to talk or taste. See, it is like our own family, wife, husband, children. We need them for our life, and same time they trouble us. Because we need them for our life, we can't leave them. And they trouble us, therefore we want to leave them. अब देखो, you can't leave LEAVE. Same time, well, LIVING, we should also have the knack of how not to make them a liability to us. How do you do? By doing your dharma towards them, and whatever dharma they have for you, ensure that they do it. Even if they don't do, just relax. This is how an intelligent grahastha lives. He does what he has to do, or she. When others also reciprocate, well and good. Not prarabdha. But it won't be taken seriously to mind to suffer. In the same way with our own upadhis also. Manage them, balance them, give some valuable time for that. But then Not that only that is the goal. Like a scooter, you have to take out of garage to go out. Now take the cloth, clean it, check it, and move. That's it. If you can start cleaning every part of it, you'll spend 2 hours in the cleaning only. By the time cleaned, again it will be dusty. Again you have to do. तो कब तक करते रहोगे उसको अंत ही नहीं होता. So to totally, fully, 100% managing the upadhis is not possible because it is made out of prarabdha, it is getting influenced by the kala continuously. But the manageable, manage it in such a way that it is useful for us to travel. Utna to karna pade. So to give good food, little exercise, see that the body is healthy, fit, flexible, neither there is stiff also, nor it is too loose also. Manage it and then conduct your works. And don't be lazy also, don't too much trouble also given to it. You should not walk only 200 meters and say that ho gaya mere exercises. Nor even you should walk 20 kilometers that so much tired that we fall. One example we are giving, apply it to everything. Sharira, Indriya, Mana, Buddhyadi, for maintaining them we are talking about. And then they have to be all the time quietened, refined, divinized, beautified, more than all, directed towards the divine. Among all of them, the mana through devotion, buddhi through the inquiry has to be maximum tried to be tuned towards the divine only. This is the biggest task. Why biggest task? Toughest task more than biggest. Why toughest task? Because of our immaturity. What is the immaturity of ours? Ki still we have not decided. Be attentive. Paramatma alone as the only goal. है ना? Paramatma alone as the only goal, sole goal. In that way, when it is not decided, still we have value for the world to possess it, to aggrandize it, to involve in it, to indulge in it, even slightly. Then it becomes a very tough task for guiding, directing our mana in devotion to the Lord, our buddhi in inquiring of the truth. Because when we have the multiple goals, the means to achieve even those goals also is the mind and the intellect. Now, the mind intellect, they are so interesting instruments, when they are used for the world. They carry all those inputs or impressions, etc. Now, for meditation, you have to drop those thoughts. Now, we confuse always our mind intellect. We send it to the world, and naturally it gathers the world. Now we say the mind intellect, अब drop करो उसको, अब मुझे meditate करना है. Bechara mind intellect always are in that struggle. They're always that way suppressed or compressed or they are what you call sandwiched. है ना? A jnani yogi who has realized the self, now he abiding in that, uses his upadhis to work in the world at ease with his freedom to withdraw them. और हम तो उतने अभी ज्ञानी बने नहीं, बनना है. इसलिए only goal is Paramatma. Then only all sadhanas are directed only for him. Then only the single pointed way, the mana intellect will work only for that. If we have multiple goals of the worldliness, this world, the other world, or in the world also, the economical goal that this 100 लगा हो, तो फिर वो डिस्टर्बेंस होता है. Like, I want to do medicine also, I want to do engineering also, I want to do chartered accountancy. No, they're all totally different subjects, different minds required. Somebody may do it, but it's an extra struggle. It is not for everyone. Some genius, you'll be able to do all the three. But for an ordinary man, choose one, excel in that. Is it not multiple things you have, you suffer. Now, doing two, three, four naukri or jobs or businesses, for sustaining in economy, that's different. That's a majburi. You're talking from the Adhyatmika Sadhana Jivana point. Nobody should have the Vishayas as the goal and the Dhana Samuparjana as the means. The goal is only Vyavahar mein to maintain ourselves. That's it. Not any indulgence or not any gaining. Then what is the goal? Goal is I must achieve my own inner self, experience of my own self. गोल परमात्मा को रख लो व्यवहार में जो रिक्वायरमेंट है फॉर आवर ओन मेंटेनेंस सस्टेनेंस ओनली फॉर दैट वी हैव टू वर्क इन वर्ल्ड डोंट टेक एज गोल द थॉट दैट द मनी इज ए गोल और भोग ऑफ द वर्ल्ड इज ए गोल should be eliminated from the heart. If we can do that, we have done a great help to ourselves. Then what is the goal? Single goal, but I have to experience the Lord. That's it. Then the mind intellect, because they are not goal, it will not gather so many impressions to make it difficult to mark the spiritual path. हाँ व्यवहार के लिए करके आ गए. Is it not? I give you always this example. है ना? Most of the government working people, now तो even private वाले भी, because for their survival the money is required. Money is given by the government office or the private firm that they work. But how many of them out of 100% take that as the goal? Nobody takes, very few. And that is why the world, the official work, either government or central, that much never bothers their mind. If at all something is bothering, that's because some targets are given. If they are not achieved, the boss will scold. They will reduce the salary. They'll transfer me, remove me. Again, the selfishness only it is. But toward the officer, कभी कभी नुकसान भी हो जाए हाँ जाने दो मेरे को क्या करना. That attitude we maintain. That's why that world will not enter us. I'm giving though the bad example. The badness in the example is when you are working in the government or wherever for our own survival, we should have sufficient loyalty for it. You have to feel for the development of that nation or the government office or the firm where we are working. Because they are giving us food. In the sustenance of that only you will sustain. Therefore, that love, that loyalty must be there. It's a must without distracting you. But then I'm taking this example to notify that yes, this is possible. That we need not be loyal to our deha, we need not be loyal to our indriyas. We have to give them what's required to them. That's it. More than that, all our loyalties should be to our real self, true self. अगर दोनों एक एक पार्टी के होते हैं ना एक ही तो हम दोनों को कट्टे दे सकते हैं बट दे टोटली ऑफ द डायगोनली ऑपोजिट इज इट नॉट the path of the self is totally internal introverted the path of the indriyas is totally extroverted therefore we cannot be loyal to both of them together only one we have to be that is the self inside and toward all the faculties there is a gratefulness towards them there is a maintenance of them there is a protection of them what is required that is given to that like the servants coming to our house to work they work for salary but they are not bound to anything they just go evening when time is over kal milenge and they never remember when they go home the owners or the people or the works there even though they work for 20, 30 years why because their mind is to their family their house their children in the same way if that type of faculty if we can develop in us wherein our attention is more and more on spiritual goal and outer things are necessary to be maintained because they are the means. That way we can strike the balance. We are growing in our right way, in our maturity. So, but all in all, what is the whole thought today we began is pause and see. And don't compare with others. Even after 20 years also of listening, one may not even start sadhana. That is not good. At the same time, one need not worry so much. Start then. After so much of Upanishad listening, still देहादि तादात्म्य वासनास may be there. और होएंगे हो तो इतने जन्म से इकट्ठा किया. Doesn't mean we justify. Again, you have to feel what our gurus or rishis are expecting from us after blessing us with such a sublime scriptural knowledge. Na? What will they feel if I continue? Don't do the sadhana. Continue the same way. So, to obligation to the guru and God helps us. Otherwise, why do they worry whether we grow or not? Their job is over when they teach us. But it helps to an extent. Ki they will feel bad. But more than that, should we ourselves feel bad that in spite of studying all Shastra, our genuine understanding, genuine sadhana has not started? शर्म आना चाहिए, है ना? Like any governmental person or any, है ना? He is selected into the ministry or as what a post to serve the society or the praja. No, instead of that, somebody does guilty things, the scams and ghotala, tries to escape and all. How long we escape? Should we not feel that this job is given to me to serve? In that serving only, I deserve what I need. And if that maturity doesn't come to someone, misuses all the power, he will suffer only. Same way, you and I also. If we can misuse all our faculties and don't do justice to what we study, then we only will not grow. We get stuck up like anybody in the samsara. So one has to feel for oneself how long I should get stuck up in samsara, though I am given such a great blessings by the Lord and the Guru through Shastra Jnanam. Let me use it. Let me really deeply understand it. Let me really work out on the means or the plans that are given. Let me truly feel that I am doing and I'm really experiencing also. तो इस तरह का कभी कभी सोचते हुए without worry, keeping the intellect intact and active, knowing the sadhana sadhya, and just to step by step moving. So may the entire Guru Parampara, the Lord, give us full understanding and strength in knowing these things and in practicing these things. Let us do our chanting today of Anna Brahma Upasana. अन्नं न निन्द्यात् तद्व्रतं प्राणो वा अन्नं शरीरमन्नादं प्राणे शरीरं प्रतिष्ठितं शरीरे प्राणः प्रतिष्ठितः तदेतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं स य एतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं वेद प्रतितिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या अन्नं न परिचक्षीत तद्व्रतम् आपो वा अन्नं ज्योतिरन्नादम् अप्सु ज्योतिः प्रतिष्ठितं ज्योतिष्याप प्रतिष्ठिताः तदेतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं स य एतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं वेद प्रतितिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या अन्नं बहुकुर्वीत तद्व्रतं पृथिवी वा अन्नम् आकाशोन्नादः पृथिव्यामाकाश प्रतिष्ठितः आकाशे पृथिवी प्रतिष्ठिता तदेतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं स य एतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं वेद प्रतितिष्ठति अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् ॐ विदितानमया विशदैककला न च किञ्चन काञ्चनमस्ति गुरो द्रुतमेव विदेहि कृपां सहजां भव शङ्करदेशिक मे शरणम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकरादि तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः अस्मत् गुरुभ्यो नमः तेषां सर्वेषां गुरूणां कृपा अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्म आत्म एकत्वबोध सिद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् क्षणे एव सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः सम्प्रदायानां शास्त्राणां साधनानां योगानां गुरुशिष्यपरम्परायाः देवतापरम्परायाः पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्व व्याप्ति द्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति द्वारा विश्व शांति विश्व कल्याण विश्व एकता विश्व सौभ्रातृत्व विश्व पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् कर्मणि निष्ठितानां समस्त भक्त साधक सेवकानाम् अस्माकं सह आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेम स्थैर्य धैर्य वीर्य विजयादि सत्संपदा सत्साधना सत्शक्ति सानुकूल्यता प्राप्ति बाह्य अभ्यंतर शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदांतर्गत तैत्तिरीयोपनिषदः श्री आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे ओम यस्माद्जातं जगत् सर्वं येनैव प्रलीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावेत् तद्वक्तारमावेत् आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ तृतीया भृगुवल्ली दशमोऽनुवाकः स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवं विद अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रम्य एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसंक्रम्य एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसंक्रम्य इमान् लोकान् कामान्नि कामरूप्यनुसञ्चरन् एतत् सामगायन्नास्ते हा ओ हा ओ हा ओ अहमन्नमहमन्नमहमन्नम् अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादो अहमन्नादः अहग्गश्लोककृदहग्गश्लोककृदहग्ग श्लोककृत अहमस्मि प्रथमजारुतास्य पूर्वं देवेभ्यो अमृतस्य न भाई यो मा ददाति स इदेव मा वाह अहमन्नमन्नमदन्तमाद्मि अहं विश्वं भुवनमभ्यभवाम सुवर्णज्योतिः य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषद ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Friends, in the 10th Anuvaka, having commented on the first portion of Nakanchana Vasudau Pratya Chakshita systematically, then exhaustively explaining to us the meaning, purpose of doing the Manushi Samajnaha, so to the Daivi Samajnaha, then telling us about, along with the Phala Shruti, some more Samagnyas are the Upasanas, Brahma Tattva. Shankara Bhagavan took us to the, what to say, to the overview, the bird's eye view of the entire Upanishad. So, especially the second, third Valli. In that, he explained to us, ki Sutra Vakya is Brahma Vidapnoti Param. Quotation for it is from the Krishna Yajurveda, Rigveda. Rigveda mantra, Rucha. What is that? Ki Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This is Brahma Lakshana. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. It is the Upalabdhisthana and Paddhati. Then so Oshtute Sarvan Kaman Sah Brahmana Vipaschita iti Phalashruti. So that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is, along with the sadhana, exactly dealt in the second Brahmananda Valli. The understanding about Satyam Jnanam Anantam. The Prapti Sadhana Paddhati is given to us through the Bhrugu Akhyayika, telling us to do the tapasya. With the help of the Upalabdhisthana, Annam Pranam Chakshu Shrotra Manovacham, so too with the help of the three Lakshanas of the Atmavastu. So the three Lakshana of Atmavastu, we try to prove in them. If they are not proved, then they are not Atma. Go to next, go to next, go to next. In this way, Anandam Brahmeti Vejanat. That's it. Then Saisha Bhargavi Varani Vidya it was. So then Phalashruti is not said, not explained, not detailedly. Therefore, this portion is to explain about that introduction. Okay, now he developed the thought. Ki, a question is raised by him only to answer. Ki, in any of the Phala Anubhuti, any of the Phala Prapti, every Phala demands its own due effort. For every Phala, same effort is not possible. It is different. Just like एक एक अलग अलग तरह का पौधा through that sabji or let us say fool or the flower fruits if we want. We can't sow only one type of thing and expect all. Like if you want the rose flower, you can't put the lily plant. For the rose flower, rose plant only we have to put. So too, if you want the tomato, you can't put the mirchi ka पौधा टोमेटो जाए तो उसी को लगाना पड़ता है. In the same way, in every of the karma phala, The corresponding karma has to be done. One. Second is there is a duality in doing the karma by the karta. Karta is different, karma is different, karma phala different. Now, this being so, in Vyavahar, when one discovers the Brahman or Atman, Paramatma, he is one without second. Okay. In that one without second, Paramatma, how the phala anubhuti can be gained where there is a duality, where the duality is required. And that too, all the things are experienced at one go. Sarvan kaman saha ashnute saha. The two brahmana vipaschita. How can it be? So that is a question he raised. And to that he gave the answer. Be attentive. In getting the answer here, then the definition for the ananda we have to change. Are you there in Skype? Are you listening? Why it is changed there? Somebody reply. Skype वाले सुन रहे हो कि नहीं? One person please answer. हाँ हाँ जी. ओके ओके. क्योंकि मेरा वो स्क्रीन उसमें बदल गया. हाँ. थैंक यू. So that was the very crucial thing to be discussed. Every discussion what we are doing, taking the help of Bhagavan Adi Shankara, is the discussion to understand what is said by Shruti Mata. How to understand her so that convincingly we do the sadhana told by her to reach the goal indicated by her, which is obviously our own goal. So this discussion came. I am again taking up that paragraph. Ye cha sarve kamaha. So all the kamya vastu prapti. Kamaha means objects or the vishayas are the different lokas. Anything which gives us sukha or happiness. All of them. Ye cha sarve kamaha. All the bhogya vastus, let us say. Pratiniyata aneka sadhana sadhyaha. Pratiniyata. Pratiniyata means very firmly established and related relativity. Pratiniyata aneka sadhana sadhya. Okay. The sadhanas to be done are many. Then only that sadhya comes. And the relation between sadhya sadhana is pratiniyata. Like we gave the example yesterday of, let us say, some halwa you want to make. So the halwa is a sadhya vastu. Now it has got a sadhana. In that sadhana, there are two things. One, pratiniyata sadhana. What is the name of pratiniyata sadhana? Ki how the halwa has to be made. In that way only you have to make. In other way, if you try, it won't come out. That's called pratiniyata. ऐसा ही करो तो ही होगा. और अनेक मीन्स व्हाट इन दैट ऐसा ही करो में देयर आर सो मेनी स्टेप्स. हलवा बन जाओ ऐसा कहने से नहीं बनता हो. अनेक साधन है कि नहीं. So many things, you have to put that patila, whatever that, and घी डालो उसमें. फिर किसका हलवा आपको बनाना है सास का है ससुर का जिनको भी जो भी है. आप कद्दू का हलवा बढ़िया होएगा, लौकी का हलवा बढ़िया होएगा, दाल का भी होता है, सूजी का होता है, गजरेला. नो ईच वन डिफरेंट वे कट और ग्रेटेड एंड ऑल. देखो अनेक साधन हो गए कि नहीं. साधनाएं बहुत करने पड़ते हैं. सो टू प्रतिनियता. Exactly that way only how to do. Hari Om. So, every kamaha or bhogya vastus vishayas are obtained by the definite karma to be done for that. So that's called sadhana. That is pratiniyata sadhana. Then aneka sadhana. Sadhyaha. Then only we gain. Okay. Second is what? Ki the phala also, that kamaha or the bhogya vastus are ki akashadi karya bheda vishayaha. So from the akasha up to anna rasa, the permutation and combination of all these things. Among these things, the permutation and combination result in the kamya vastus. So this is what is ete darshitaha. This is what we commonly understand. So, like as we said just now, the same thing as a halwa making. So here we have talked from this side that you have to follow the systematic things and so many steps are involved. And the other side, that particular thing to make the ingredients, where from they have come. The ghee has come from the milk from the cow, it is from the grass. So to the other things which we have bought are from the earth through the plants they came. Is it not? So no, they all have come from what? Akashadi Beda. So आकाश से, वायु से, अग्नि से, जल, जल से ही बहुत सारे चीज हम काम को लेते हैं. एंड देन फ्रॉम द जल द पृथ्वी केम. ऑल दीज थिंग्स कम फ्रॉम द पृथ्वी. सो इतने सारे विषयों के द्वारा वो मिलते हैं हमको, है ना. साध्य मीन्स द वर्क विच वी डू, and the ingredients are required of so many types. Now, by saying this, what is he proving? He is not serving as a halwa. He is telling that there are anekata in the achievement of any of the kama vastu. Kamya vastu achievements में there is multiplicity, है ना? And the other unsaid things you can add. That you have to have so many instruments, karanas. You also have to have your own personal instruments, karana. है ना. हाथ घुमाना है, उंगलियां घुमानी पड़ती है, आंखों से देखना पड़ता है, नाक से सूंघना पड़ता है कि ये प्रॉपर स्मेल है कि नहीं. बिकॉज मेनी ऑफ द डिशेस डिपेंडिंग ऑन द स्मेल ओनली वी नो वेदर इट इज कुक्ड और नॉट. So all of that are not said, but you would understand. So there is multiplicity required in the doing and obtaining of any of the kamya vastu. And again, in indulging it also, you need so many things. हाथ से या स्पून से वो हलवा को निकालो, फिर मुंह में लगाओ, फिर चबाओ, गल्फ करो, है ना, गल्पिंग. So that way, idea is what? Though he has given only two things. Here, aneka sadhya bheda, what is the said? Pratiniyata and aneka sadhana from the action standpoint. And akashadi, karya bheda vishayaha from the object standpoint. Only two are said. But we have to add all other things if at all we need to have explanation or exhaustive explanation. Otherwise, इससे पता चलेगा, क्या पता चलेगा कि in obtaining any of the phala or kamya vastu or bhoga vastu, there is the involvement of the dvaita. Main point is this, involvement of the dvaita. But what about the Parabrahma? Parabrahma is ekameva dvayam. Na? Now what is the Shruti Mata sentence? Ki when one recognizes Brahman, he will be attentive. Ashnute sarvan kaman saha. That he will enjoy all the kamya vastus at one go. When he discovers the Brahma Tattva, he discovers himself to be the Brahman. अरे भाई, the Brahman is one without second. Actually इस ब्रह्म में the भोग्य भोक्ता ये डिफरेंस ही नहीं है. Then how come the bhogya vastus, which are outcome of this type of action, which are the outcome of the akashadi karya, can be there in the brahmagnani? Because brahmagnani में ब्रह्म के अलावा और कुछ नहीं होता. That's the ekamevaadvayam brahma. So an ekamevaadvayam brahma achieved person will enjoy all kamanas, that also at one go. How can you reconcile this? That is the thinking going on. Because other than in Brahma Jnana, in the world, to achieve any sadhya vastu or kamya vastu or kamana or bhogya vastu, see, I have to be a karta, I have to do a lot of karma. For that, I have to need the upadhis, or you will say the upadana karanam. That's how I gave the example of that sweet dish. So there the multiplicity is allowed. It is there. So a beautiful dish has come out, we enjoyed. But in reaching the Brahma Tattva, we transcended all the duality. We discovered the Brahman to be Ekameva Advayam Satyam Jnanavantam. Okay. Now, how the Shruti Mata is saying, she should stop there. When you discover Brahma, you are experiencing Brahmananda. Full stop. She can stop there like other Upanishads do so. But this Upanishad, she says, Sarvan Kaman Saha Ashnute. And even to inspire the sadhaka, Shruti Mata cannot speak jhoot, na? She cannot speak jhoot. She should speak truth only. Therefore, she speaks truth only. Therefore, what she spoken is truth only. But how to reconcile it? When she says ki such Brahmagnani enjoys all the kamanas or all the kamya vastus, all the bhogya vastus, that also at one go along with Brahman, Brahmanubhuti. If this one question, if we can answer to ourselves, answer is very simple, but the acceptance of the answer becomes difficult. Like, to be safe in your this life and the other lives, we should not be corrupt. We should not be dishonest. So simple, But the acceptance of it, practice of it, because our hearts is filled with so many desires, and we want all the things to be achieved by us with minimum efforts in a quickest way of time, and that all is possible only by being dishonest and corrupt. So, though the statement of fact is simpler, the acceptance and practice of it is tough. And just like irrespective of whoever are there, world may love all, serve all. How easy is the fact to understand? But to accept and practice, how can I do so? I mean, people take me for granted and they don't deserve. They're so bad. अब देखो इतने ifs and buts come. In the same way, the answer to the question is very simple, but the acceptance and abidance in it takes some maturity. We have only analyzed the question. Ki how in the Brahma Jnana, where Brahman is one without second, the statement gets place to stay. What is the statement? Ki sarvan kaman saha ashnute. That all kamanas he will enjoy one go. It's a big topic, na? Sarvan kaman matlab kya hua? In all the 14 worlds, all the kamya vastus, experienced by all the jivas, with all the faculties. That is the meaning of sarvan kaman. And this Brahmagnani, all of that saha ashnute. That is the meaning, na? Saha ashnute sarvan kaman saha. Together you will enjoy. How come it is possible? And the question raised is what? In the kamana prapti only there is multiplicity. Because to get a thing, we have to operate on the karya vastu starting from akasha onwards. And in while doing the action also, there is aneka pratiniyata aneka sadhana. A specific work only has to be done for it. Something else you do that will not come out. है ना, एक चीज पाने के लिए एक ही करना है, दूसरा करो तो नहीं होता. दैट्स प्रतिनियतता. देन अनेक साधना, यू हैव टू डू सो मेनी थिंग्स. उसमें दो चार मिस कर दी तो नहीं बनेगा वो. सो अनेकता है इन दैट. Then how can one who realizes Brahman is experiencing or is said to have is said to experience all the kamanas or kamya vastus or bhogya vastus at one go? So ekatve punaha, when you discover oneness of the Brahman, kama kamitva anubhavati, है ना, द काम्य व्यक्त का कामना करने वाला व्यक्ति और उनके अंदर कामना एंड द करस्पॉन्डिंग ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ whom he has got the कामना, ये सब तो हो ही नहीं सकता बिकॉज ब्रह्मन इज वन विदाउट सेकंड. इज इट नॉट? Okay. Then why is it so? Because Bheda Jatasya Sarvasya Atmabhutatva. Because what is the meaning of Brahmajnanam? Brahmajnan is whatever which is seen so far as with differences. Bheda Jatasya Sarvasya Atmabhutatvat is discovered to be one's own self. That is the meaning of Brahmajnana. Therefore, there is no otherness. Then how can there be Kama Kamitva in the Brahmajnani? The basic kama kamitva itself is not there, then how can the kamya vastus are so many and you will experience all of them that also at one go? How come this discussion? That's what he says. Katham yugapatu. Hmm. Brahmaswarupena that also. Sarvan kaman evam with samashnute. He is experiencing Brahman also and he is experiencing all the things also. What do you mean by saying? How to reconcile it? What exactly you want to say? So the answer is very simple. What is that? Ki sarva atmatva upapattehe. This is the answer. This is where we have to pause and very clearly understand, then feel the meaning of it. So sarvatmatva upapattehe means what? We have to define the ananda totally differently now. So far, for us, the experience of the ananda is only when the subject comes in contact with the object through the upadhis. In this delusory definition of ananda only, we have went on living millions of lives and trying to eke out ananda this way to such an extent that the ananda can be defined in some other way also. We have never even thought of it. For a long time walking on the earth, we never even thought that we can fly in the sky. The moment the thought came, then the investigations went on, then we discovered the aeroplanes. Many a times now, mind gets fixed. We are very low in our maturity as a human beings. फंसे रहते हुए चीजों में इतना कि उससे ज्यादा और कुछ कर सकते हैं, we can't even think. Very subtle thought it is. In the same way, the Vishaya Vishayi Sambandha is the only one giver of Ananda. In this way, we got fixed our mind, not giving chance for any other understanding. Clear? Now, what is the next understanding is ki Sarvam Atma. Be attentive. In the discovery of this truth, be attentive. Also, there is Ananda. Point one. Point two is what? Everything is the self alone. In the discovery of all this alone, the true real Ananda. No, once this statement of fact is said, how our mind reacts. It reacts in a manner of rejection only. It is impossible to say that discovering oneness with the whole world itself is the infinite bliss. हमको उसको मानने को तैयार नहीं हम. Why? Because only when there are objects, when they are contacting them with the senses and the mind is involved in that, then only there is maja maja. इन दैट वे सब्जेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट का कनेक्शन में ही आनंद है, ऐसे हम भावना में रहते हैं. इवन दो एवरी डे भगवान कृपा से we are getting a state of experience where there is no subject object contact and yet so much of ananda is there, that is called as nidra. So nidra mein I, the subject, which is the object I am contacting, no, yet am I happy or not, blissful or not? So much ananda is there in it. So, the two things. Then where from the ananda came at that time in Nidra? Answer is not from the objects, because the objects were not there in that. Then it has to come from subject only. There is a difference. So from the subject ananda came is one sentence, which is a half sentence. which is a incomplete sentence. Like what is complete sentence? From the subject the Ananda has not come, then the subject itself is Ananda Swarup. This becomes more tough to catch. Discovering in the discovery of oneness, in the realization of oneness, the Ananda is experienced, the true Ananda experienced. To catch this itself is tough. The next thing is what? That Ananda is your own essential nature. To catch it, it becomes more tougher. But they are the actual facts. Now the question का answer मिल गया? What was the question? How in that state of Atma Prapti, where Ekameva Advayam Brahma is discovered, that there is a statement that such Jnani experiences all the kamanas at one go. And first of all, in the Ekameva Advayam Brahma, there should not be any kamya vastus. Secondly, even if they are there, how can you enjoy all of them in one go? See the question? Why the question has come? Because from the standpoint of definition for the Ananda, that subject object contact and multiplicity is a necessity for Ananda. We are in this delusion for millions of lives. The Shruti Mata, by giving this statement of fact, helping us to come out of the delusion only. What is the delusions coming out here? The meaning of Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha means what? The joy gained by discovering oneness with the Brahman is such one that it includes all the joys when an object and subject come in contact. All the objects and all subjects come in contact. वो जितना आनंद है वो ब्रह्म आनंद में है ही समाया हुआ है, वो बताने के लिए बताया. Not to say that like each of the object is there, उसका सिक इसको मिलता है. So Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha is practically impossible. Like I told yesterday example, when there are 25 dishes are kept, I cannot have all of them consumed at one go and enjoy it also. But there are opposite things. करेला का स्वाद अलग है, रसगुल्ला का स्वाद अलग है, नमकीन का स्वाद अलग है. ठीक है? Now the two answers are there for it. What? First answer is what? Nobody contacts the object for the sake of contact. Okay? Everybody contacts every of the object for the sake of ananda only. Come to this understanding first. Therefore, somebody eats karela, other eats gulab jam, other eats something. For what? For ananda only. So, common thing sought by everyone is ananda. So that infinite Ananda sought by all beings through infinite involvements is experienced in the experience of Aham Brahmasmi. Therefore, सर्व कामनाओं को अनुभव में लाने में जो आनंद मिलता है वो आनंद इस ब्रह्मानंद में है. उस दृष्टि से कहा सर्वान कामान सम्यक अश्नुते. Not that really the objects will be there, he will indulge in them. Already it is said in Ekameva Advayam Brahma, there is no other thing at all. Now look at from this side. From this side what? That infinite blissful Paramatma, be attentive, is dichotomized as a subject and object, and in that, through the contact with the object, this human stupid ignorant fellow is getting the bits and pieces of small little pleasures only, which he is calling as happiness, which is calling as a bliss. So much is murkha he is. है ना? पूरा मिठाई डब्बा है 5 किलो का, उसमें से 100 ग्राम निकाल के कटोरी में डाला और उसका थोड़ा थोड़ा खा रहा है. Imagine, thoda thoda is eating out of the katori, and which katori is 100 gram, which has come from the total the 5 kilos it mithai. Same way, the Ananta Ananda is the Brahma Swarup. That is me. And in this Ananta Brahma Swarup Ananda, subject object division is made, and in through the objects, this subject is trying to gain little pleasures, calling it as fulfillment or happiness. So we are in this delusion and ignorance. We have to discover it. And the positivity of it is what? Positive is in the experience of the Aham Brahmasmi, all the anandas gained by the individual by involving in all the objects through all the faculties in the past and present and future, they are all felt. They are all experienced in the Brahma Ananda. That was already discussed in the Brahma Ananda Mimamsa by telling the Brahmadeva Ananda also is just a splash of water compared to the ocean of the Brahmananda. So, what is the breakthrough we have to achieve here? The breakthrough is through subject object contact, only the Ananda comes. That delusion we have to transcend. Then, by being the Brahman, also there is Ananda. By being the Brahman, alone there is Ananda. By being the Brahman alone, there is an infinite Ananda in which all these finite Anandas are getting the place, getting a chance. This breakthrough we have to get in our intellect because Shruti Mata is saying. That is why Sarvatmatva Upapattehe. So, in becoming one with all, itself is that experience of the Ananda of all. Saha Ashnute Sarvan Kaman. So here he is not experiencing the Vishayas, but he is experiencing the Ananda, which is the goal of contacting the Vishayas. And nobody contacts objects for Dukkha or anything other than Ananda. Therefore, the final requirement for all of us is Ananda only. इसलिए जितना भी चीज अच्छा हो वो आनंद नहीं है उसमें हम नहीं जाते उसके लिए और जहाँ खत्म हो जाता है आनंद उसको छोड़कर जाते हैं whoever it may be. Narayana Om. So that is the meaning of it. Answer is this only. Ki the delusion that there is Ananda only in the subject object contact is to be transcended. Then the real Ananda, true Ananda, is there only in being one without second with that Brahman. Narayana. 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 Hmm. Another way of logical is what? Each object, if it is giving this much Ananda, then the source of each object is that Brahman only. Then that Brahman should have all Ananda of this. And I am realizing that Brahman objectively seen, subjectively also. Which each of the faculty, let us say the Indriyas, Sharira, Manabuddhi, by contacting that objects, I am getting that much Anandas. Now each of these faculties also have come from Brahman only. So then directly if we are one with Brahman, how much Ananda we get? इस तरह से भी हम विचार करके समझ सकते हैं. The Brahman being the source of all, so any Ananda felt anywhere must be the Brahma only. Therefore, all Anandas put together are to be found necessarily in the finding of Brahma. That is why Saha Ashnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana means in the Anubhuti of Brahman there is Ananda of obtaining all the objects of all past, present, future by all the faculties, etc. Now, this understanding has to be strengthened. Only then we go for it at the cost of other small little pleasures through the subject object contact. He is called as sadhaka. That in devotional language it is said as कि मुझे और कुछ नहीं चाहिए दुनिया में, मुझे मेरे प्रभु के चरण में जो भक्ति है उसी में सब आनंद है. In devotional language it is spoken like that. And that person experiences it. And others who are lost in the wife or husband or children or objects or naukri or money, for those people ये समझ में नहीं आता है ना. A negative example is a boy or girl infatuated mutually. No, they don't find happiness in anything. You try to bind them, you try to give them money, tell no no no, I want to be with her only. And you don't understand, बेवकूफ है, गाड़ी दे रहा हूँ, ये दे रहा हूँ, घूमो इधर उधर, उसको छोड़ो, कहते नहीं. It's an example, but it's negative. We don't do like that. The negative example say positive thing learnt is what? That to that devotee, you can't understand, but he has experienced that so much ananda at the feet of the Lord through that devotion. वो हो गया उनको, बस वो लग गए हो, उसको कोई बता नहीं सकता, only he can experience. And he will also question कि in the devotion at the feet of the Lord, such a great bliss ananda is there. How come this stupid samsaris, instead of seeking this ananda, running for the dead objects of the world? He will also have question. We also have question for him. अरे इतने सुख भोग बंगला गाड़ी छोड़कर ये किशन किशन राम राम बोल रहा है, पागल है क्या? अब ये पागल है कि वो पागल है, आप तय कर लो. In the same way, instead of being one with Brahman and experiencing the bliss of contact between all object and objects, we are just limiting ourselves for temporary pleasures by the contacting of the subjective personality layers with the objects. This is the ignorance, and this is a delusion which can't go easily. That's why I said there are some very strong things. We are habituated to it for millions of lives. Even to listen and understand it becomes so tough, and to accept and practice is impossible. समझ गए ना? Very very tough to listen and understand. Like the example of, okay, I am inside the body is a common thing. Everyone lives like that. But the fact is absolutely ulta. I am not in the body. Body is in me. But who will accept it easily? Who will understand it? मुश्किल होगा उनको. और वो बंदा जब तक स्थूल से सूक्ष्म में नहीं जाएगा, he will not understand that the sthula can be in the sukshma, sukshma cannot be in the sthula. I am subtler than the body. So how can I am in the body? Body should be in me because the grass is the content always. Subtle is the container. But who has not become subtle in his understanding the difference between the subtle and gross. For him, the cell body is in me. ये तो वो हंसेगा उसको सुनकर. उनको अनुभूति मैं शरीर हूँ, ये पकड़ के रखा है thought. Otherwise, every movement through the eyes is going into the objects of the world forms. Through the ears is going to the sounds. Through the mind is going to different places, timings, situations. But वो subtle चीजें इसके दिमाग में भाई नहीं पड़ा पल्ला, because he has not become spiritual student. Like a chair is there. I have the knowledge of the chair. How did you have the knowledge of the chair? Only two options. Either the chair should come into you or you have to go into the chair. Chair never comes because jada. Then what is the other option left? You have gone to see the chair, no? This means you have gone out of the body. Therefore, you are not inside the body. बाहर गया का मतलब अंदर नहीं है ना, बाहर जा पाया तो. So very tough it becomes in the initial days to understand. Here also, this breakthrough we have to get, that in discovering Ekameva Advayam Brahman, there is Ananda. And only in that there is Ananda. And that Ananda is so infinite. That includes all the otherwise Ananda felt by every of the Jiva through every of these three avasthas of Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti, by contacting all the objects through all faculties. That is the meaning of Saha Ashrute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipaschita. But Vipaschit, who by his maturity had discovered his oneness with the Brahma Tattva, in his bliss or Ananda, there is a bliss and Ananda of contacting every object in the past, present, future with every of the faculties in infinite quantity. तो एक आइसक्रीम खाओ तो कितना सुख होगा, दो खाओ तो कितना, तीन. आप इन्फाइनाइट आइसक्रीम्स खाओ तो कितना दुख सुख होता है, उतना ब्रह्मानंद में. एंड दैट आनंद इवन इज नॉट इन आइसक्रीम, बिकॉज दो तीन आइसक्रीम खा लो पर तो सर्दी हो जाती है, यू कांट ईट मोर देन दैट. But why do we eat ice cream? For the ananda. Any number of times we eat ice cream is only for ananda. Means infinite times of ice cream eating is for infinite ananda. That is there in Brahmananda. Without eating ice cream, without getting the cold. That is what is the glory of the ananda. That is why how all that. So the explanation is this only. Okay. Katham. What is the answer? Which was discussed. Sarva atma upapattihi. Sarva atmatva upapattihi. Iti aha. So Sarvam Atma in this experience only, the experience of the infinite bliss is there in which all happinesses are included. Set. Okay. Now, uh, mm, now, Sayaschayam Purushe, Yascha Savaditye, Sayekaha, Saya Evam with Asman Lokan Pretya, Etamannamayamatman Upasankramya, up to Etamanandamayamatman Upasankramya, then Iman Lokan Buradin Anusancharan. This is the main mantra of the 10th अनुवाका. उसका थोड़ा डिटेल्डली एक्सप्लेन कर रहे व्यास भगवान द भाष्यकार. So one by one thing. First, कि पुरुषा means the jiva me, adityastha means in the Surya Bhagwan, Atma the self is one, ekatva, vijnanena, with that experience of oneness. What is happening? Apohya, a thing is removed. What is removed? Utkarsha apakarsha. Utkarsha apakarsha means something is greater than the other, something is lesser than the other. Utkarsha apakarsha. Okay. Like, what is the Utkarsha apakarshata between Aditya and the Purusha? The three main things. Aditya is Karana, Aditya is Ishvara, Aditya is Samashti. Purusha is Karya, is Jiva, he is Vyashti. So in that Aditya there is Utkarshata. In the Jiva there is Apakarshata. Now in both of them, the existing one Purusha, when it is discovered, before the discovery of that, whatever the differentiation was seen, because of which the Utkarshata and Apakarshata was imagined, all of that goes away. Second thing achieved. सो आदित्य में भी पुरुष में भी एक परमात्मा है. उनका डिस्कवर करने से उत्कर्ष अपकर्ष निकल गया. समथिंग हायर, समथिंग लोअर, दैट इज गॉन अवे. सो पुरुष आदित्यस्थ आत्म एकत्व विज्ञानेन अपोह्य उत्कर्ष अपकर्षौ. ही इज फॉलोइंग द मंत्र. सयश्चायं पुरुष यश्चासावादित्य स एकः. स य एवं वित्. The one who discovers that oneself. Okay. With the help of the discovery, he slowly transcends the Utkarsha Avakarsha of the Veshti and Samashti, of all the Upadhis which are called the Koshas. That's what the next mantra said in the main mantra. Right? What was the sentence? Sayaschayam Purushe Yascha Savaditye Saekaha. So one Purusha. Saya Evam Vitu, the one who has known it. Earlier also it came, but there Etamannamayamatmana Upasankramati. Here Etamannamayamatmana Upasankramya. Be careful here. Just 2 minutes we take. Here, Etam Annamayama Atma Sankarma means what? He will discover himself to be this Annamaya. Then he will transcend this one Annamaya. Then he goes to become identified with the total Annamaya. Then within himself, he goes beyond the Annamaya, goes to the Pranamaya. Then he discovers that this one Pranamaya in him is the Samashti Pranamaya. Clear? Now, listen carefully. Once he discovers himself to be the Samashti Pranamaya, what has happened in him? He has transcended Vyashti and Vyashti and Samashti Annamaya. That is called as Annamaya Atmanam Upasankramya, gone into Pranamaya. Clear? So too, from the individual Pranamaya, he goes to Samashti Pranamaya. Then again, from the individual Pranamaya, he becomes subtler and discovers the Manomaya. And he discovers the identity with the Samashti Manomaya. Now, when he has come one with the Samashti Manomaya, what about the Pranamaya? Pranamayam Atmanam Upasankramya. अब तक प्राणमय को आत्मा मान रहा था, उसका उप समीप पे जाकर संक्रमणिया उसको पार करके ही वेंट इनटू द नेक्स्ट लेवल. सो इंटेलेक्चुअली सैद्धांतिक दृष्टि से थिंग इज अंडरस्टूड. सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम ब्रह्म यो वेदनीतम गुहायां परमे व्योमन, all of that. And while going to that root of the self in the heart to experience it, where we are now, we are at the gross outer world level. From there we come to the Annamaya as Atma. And this is not one Annamaya but the total Annamaya. For some time we live like that. Thereafter, this Annamaya we reject and go to Pranamaya. It's just like when some guests come to your house, 5 of them. The first meeting is at the Annamaya level only. You look at them, they look at you, and you love them, they love you, you hug them, they hug you. And all बकवास करते हैं. बट 15-20 मिनट बाद सडनली भूख लगती है. पहले खुद को लगती है. द मोमेंट भूख लगी है, वी हैव कम टू द प्राणमय लेवल. इमीडिएटली वी से अरे मुझे ही नहीं, द गेस्ट आल्सो मस्ट बी हंग्री. Then all the Annamaya huggings, all the Annamaya talkings are gone to the next level of Pranamaya. अब चलो मिलकर खाना बनाते हैं, सब खाएंगे. After पेट भर गया, वो प्राणमय हो गए हो. Then you try feeling in the mind level. है ना, some sitting, some loving, talking. उस समय Annamaya is not remembered, Prana is not remembered. You are at Manomaya. Then you bring all of them and put together. You talk something by which the Manomaya is scattered. An example, if you analyze it. So this is isolated examples. Every day we are shifting from one kosha to the other to seek that type of happiness at that level. In samsara vyavahara. But here we are talking about Brahma Jnanam. In the Brahma Anubhuti, consciously the sadhaka एक कोश को ऐसे पार करेगा. Now we have discussed it 8-9 days back कि consciously one by one gross to subtle koshas we have to transcend in such a manner that we are left with no doubt again to come back. You know, just like when you go somewhere, when you pack your suitcase, you make a whole list of the things, then each of the thing you collect it, then you put it in such a conscious manner that you don't go back by missing something again to collect it. In the same way, एक बार प्राणमय में आ गए, फिर अन्नमय से तादात्म्य कभी भी नहीं होना चाहिए. इस तरह से अन्नमय से प्राणमय में जाना है. इसलिए अन्नमयम उपसंक्रम्य बताया. So to once we come to the manomaya level, annamaya, pranamaya and anna both, vyashti and samashti should be of no concern at all, beyond some vyavaharic value. So to when we come to vijnanamaya, the anna pranamano, vyavaharika value उसका होना चाहिए, उससे ज़्यादा उसका मायना ही नहीं होना चाहिए. No, like a government officer है, तो government gives him the car and driver. So he only sits in the car when the car comes in the morning to go to office. And wherever he has to go during the day, the car goes. Evening, the driver drops him. उसके बाद driver, car का repair, maintenance. Will he be worrying about it? He need not. खुद का है तो फिर करना पड़ता है सब कुछ. In the same way, these faculties are only given to us by the Lord just to use them for the sadhana. उसका ज़्यादा तादात्म्य नहीं करना उससे. Tadatma is using that government car for personal trips. That is also wrong. Worrying about it also is wrong. Not using for the given purpose also is wrong. Using for the given purpose, not worry too much beyond the limit, nor misusing it. With the upadhis like that. So in this way, etam vijnanamayam atmanam upasankramya, then etam anandamayam atmanam upasankramya. Then what would be the next thing left out when Anandamaya named Kosha also is transcended? It is pure Ananda Brahma, which is called as Brahma Bucham Pratishta. So you can just imagine the mind. In his identity, he is transcending Vyashti Annamaya, Samashti Annamaya. Vyashti Prana, Samashti Prana. Vyashti Mano, Samashti Mano. Vyashti Vijnana, Samashti Vijnana. Vyashti Ananda Maya, Samashti Ananda Maya. Then he is entering into one Brahman in which there is no Vyashti Samashti. Because Sayashchayam Purusha Yashcha Savadite Sa Eka. पर ब्रह्म में एकता के कारण वो डिवीजन कर नहीं पाते उसका किसी कारण से पैरामीटर से देखो उसको छोटा बड़ा व्यष्टि समष्टि नहीं कर सकते. दैट वाज द मीनिंग ऑफ द सेंटेंस कि उत्कर्ष अपकर्ष यो अपोह्य सयश्चायम पुरुषेश्च सावादित्ये स एकः. व्हेन दैट इज डिस्कस्ड फ्रॉम दैट एक स्टैंड पॉइंट उत्कर्ष अपकर्ष चला गया. Is one like when all the delegates G20 came in the initial time, it appeared you are president of that country, president of this country. अब धीरे धीरे देखा जाए, they are also same human being with two hands, two legs, and one head on the shoulder. In him that जीवा had done some पुण्य, इसलिए वो president है. पहले तो resident ही था वो. अब रिटायर हो गए तो कौन इसको वैल्यू करेगा? Including our own prime minister. Where was he? 40-50 years back. कोई कार्य करता. See, ekaha. Some specificity is there for temporarily. Otherwise, all human beings only. So what? कोई president है ना? Like the others were saying, no, that British prime minister, barefooted he has gone to the temple. अरे वो आदमी नहीं है क्या वो? What is like special in that going? Devotee है तो ऐसे ही जाना पड़ेगा किसी को भी, है ना? उपाधि के दृष्टि से अलग काम है. या प्रेसिडेंट और प्राइम मिनिस्टर सच ए ग्रेट नेशन, नमस्कार चमत्कार, बट बेसिकली इज ए ह्यूमन. एवरीवन इज सो. सो उत्कर्ष अपकर्ष के बताने के लिए एग्जाम्पल दिया मैं बस. डोंट वरी, देर आर ऑल गुड पीपल, रेस्पेक्ट देम. टू बिकम हेड ऑफ ए बिग स्टेट इज नॉट एन ऑर्डिनरी थिंग. लेट अस नॉट गो इनटू दैट. द आइडिया इज व्हाट? वंस सयश्चायम पुरुषेश्चा सावादित्य स एकः डिस्कवर्ड. स एवं वित फर्स्ट क्या होगा उनका? he will no more have any utkarsha apakarsha. Then he will intellectually, having discovered that one thing, in the experience of that, through the meditation and other sadhanas, one by one, Veshti Samashti, Anna, Prana, Mano, Ityadi, Upasankramya, going beyond even Anandamaya, he will discover the one without second, Ananda Brahma. That is the meaning of this. That is how you have to do, it is said. In that Vijnana Guha, that Brahman, who is Satyam Jnanamanantam, has to be experienced. That's the meaning of Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Okay, so सारे चीजें कवर्ड हो गए. सूत्र वाक्य ब्रह्म विदाप्नोति परम. कोटेशन सत्यम ज्ञानवंतम ब्रह्म यो वेद निहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन सो उष्णते सर्वान् कामान् स ब्रह्मणा विपश्चिता. All these three theoretically thoroughly explained. Now practically get convinced intellectually that you are that Brahman which is one without second, whose Swarupa is Satyam Jnanavantam, who is discovered on the cell in the cave of the heart. Be thorough in it. Having done that, now drop the Utkarsha, Apakarsha, any type of differences in the world in your Vyavahar mein rehndo, but from the heart. Then keeping that as goal, slowly transcend individual Anna by surrendering it to the total Anna. Individual total Anna surrender to individual Prana. Surrender the individual Prana to total Prana. Then the Prana to the Mana to the Vijnana. Vijnana to straight away Vijnana Guha. Don't worry about the Ananda Maya Kosha. When we are going to have the pure bliss or Ananda of the Brahman in the Vijnana Maya Kosha, why do we have to go to Ananda Maya Kosha where a reflected Ananda comes? तो उसको bypass करके straight away from the Vijnana Guha, there we discover that Chidakasha Rupa, Sadakasha Rupa, Sat Swarupa, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. When one really this way transcends his Stulatas, Sukshmata, Karanatas and gets identification with that eternal, immutable, birth changeless Satyam Jnanam Anantam self, that bliss is so infinite. The Ananda is so infinite. The discovery, at least the first time, is so glorious that he starts singing the joy of Samagana. That is a connection for the last portion of this particular, what do you call, Anuvakam. That we will see tomorrow. Ki, these whole things, see the flow of the sentence, you see, ki, Katam Sarvatmatva Upapatti. Why he enjoys that all things at one go? Because सर्वात्मत्व उपपत्ति. Now that सर्वात्म उपपत्ति कैसा उनको मिला? अरे ये तो पढ़ रहे हैं पिछले 500 दिन से throughout the Upanishad. Okay, but can you summarize it? The summary is this. कि इति पुरुष आदित्यस्ता आत्म एकत्व विज्ञानेन, first step of achievement. अपोह्य उत्कर्ष अपकर्षौ, second achievement. अन्नमय आदि आत्मनः अविद्या कल्पितान क्रमेण संक्रम्य, third aspect, up to आनंदमय अंतान. Fourth, in the guha of the art, satyam jnanam anantam brahma, whose other lakshanas explained as adrushyadi dharmakam, and that of these lakshanas swabhavikam, and it has got as ananda which is swabhavikam, and that is ajam, amratam, abhayam, advaitam, that he comes to experience as the result of all this sadhana, phala bhutam apannaha. This is how you reach to the Sarvatmatopatti. Once you achieved that, Iman Lokan, all these Bhoradina Anusancharan, moving iti Vyavahitena Sambandaha. Katam Anusancharan, Kamanni Kamarupi. That will be the connection. Tomorrow we'll do that. Once this is done, we are left with one more mantra, which will take 3 or 4 days. Then it's so total maximum 5-6 days we'll conclude it. Sarvam Bhagavat Charanaaravindarpanam. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramarusibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti Matre Namaham Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. In this way, vigorously, rigorously, regularly सुनने के बाद ही विचारणा करेक्ट होकर, बात समझ में आने के बाद ही साधना एक्चुअली होकर अनुभव सिद्धि का आता है. लेट अस ट्राई.